Hello, Cosmo here. Today I wanted to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, in my opinion, this game is a jaw-dropping technical marvel. Yes, it definitely is. No one did a game of this scale so far. It obviously has shortcomings, but still is a wonderful game if you enjoy flight simming. There is a lot to talk about, but I will try to keep this as short as possible. But I want to say that this is not intended for hardcore flight simmers. My goal is to explain what this game is and what it can offer for newcomers and casual flight simmers. So, what is Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's a new iteration of Microsoft's Flight Sim franchise, which is going for decades now. It was greatly improved. Basically every area was a huge improvement. Graphics, live weather, a bunch of aircraft of all types, and of course the whole world at your hands. You can fly anywhere. It's photorealistic and you can explore the world or your own city or town and even find your house or your favorite park. It's all there. First, let's talk about aircraft. I highly suggest buying Premium Deluxe Edition since it includes more handcrafted airports which are quite nice, and there's also more planes, so you will have a better variety. There are plenty of them: single prop, twin prop, turboprop, jets, and of course airliners, and even acrobatic ones. Now, I have seen a lot, like really a lot of people bashing default planes for not being realistic enough. Sorry, but I must say I don't agree with this. While the planes are not as realistic as their counterparts in real life, they are still awesome. Some even better than payware planes for other flight simulators. General aviation small planes are really well done to the degree of average payware ones, like Cessna 152 or Cessna 172. They are good enough for anyone who doesn't fly in real life. Now, more complex ones like turboprop planes and other bigger general aviation planes are little worse but still very good and enjoyable to fly. Way above what we have in other flight sims by default. Then there are jets. They are even more complex and of course less realistic, still perfectly flyable after some updates. And finally, airliners. These are in the worst state, better than other sims again. They have functional, quite authentic flight computers, but systems are not complete and dumbed down. Some switches and knobs are marked as inop. It became a meme already. But most of those inop switches are not very important for flying. They are only important if you follow real-world checklists. So, as I said, the default planes are still on par with average payware ones. Take Captain Scam, for example. It's $30, and I think everyone will agree it's no better than default one. So overall, in my opinion, default planes are pretty high quality, especially for casual simmers who don't fly in real life. For those who want more realism, check out mods. Fly-by-wire A320 is amazing and greatly improved version of the default A320. There are also other mods like GPS, improved pushback, and many more. And for those hardcore simmers who fly in real life, there are always payware add-ons, which are much closer to real life, although that comes at a steep price. You will be paying 40–100 euros for a quality plane. But if you are going to spend hundreds of hours in that plane, then why not? Although I kind of expected add-ons prices to be lower due to popularity of this game. You know, more people equals more sales, which means you can lower the prices and earn even more money than before. Maybe that will change with the console version, which is coming soon. I also wish more developers would use in-game marketplace. I hate third-party DRM, having keys, 20 different accounts for each add-on. That's just annoying. So I encourage everyone to use marketplace only, but in the end it's your choice, of course. Now let's talk weather. There's live weather, which changes dynamically, and every flight could be slightly different due to the weather changes. The weather looks absolutely stunning. Volumetric clouds are out of this world. Something we have never seen before. Lighting is amazing too. Flying for a few hours and seeing how the sun is setting down is an unforgettable experience. Or maybe you have an extremely fast jet, then try to escape the sunset. The sky also has stars which are depicted realistically. There's live weather which sometimes could glitch but still working most of the time. Then there are weather preferences where you can set it however you like: cloud layers, elevation of clouds, winds, even seasons. Speaking of seasons, there is snow, which changes the scenery drastically at winter. Of course, don't expect the live weather to look exactly what you see through your window right now. I mean, we need to be realistic here. There are no weather stations every 100 meters or so, and data from weather stations has some delay. But again, no other sim depicts weather so greatly. So maybe less complaining about minor stuff like, hey, it's pouring outside, in my game there's only a light rain. Come on, guys. It's scenery's turn now. Scenery is stunning and extremely accurate. Like always, some people complain about minor stuff like there are trees in the wrong place, or some building look low quality, and so on. Come on. It's the whole world. Of course, there will be bugs. No one is going to handcraft every single building and tree in the world. That's just not realistic. Cities and nature looks extremely realistic. Every country, every region, every city is unique. If you fly over a region you know, probably your own town, you will instantly recognize it. Some buildings might not be the same color, obviously, or your favorite park have less trees, or maybe more trees, but overall it's very realistic. There might be some other discrepancies, like you see a building which is no more there, or a road, a small lake, or something else which are not there anymore. That's because the scenery is generated by Bing, and photogrammetry and data could be little outdated. And again, I will repeat myself, no one is going to update the scenery every day. But overall, everything looks really amazing. One of the biggest downsides of photogrammetry are mountains. They probably look the worst. Mountains are often too rounded and don't look like their counterparts in the real world. But here's where modding community comes in. There are plenty of improvements made by awesome modding community. By now there's plenty of visual improvements of various regions or even whole countries, which makes everything look even more realistic. But it comes at a price of performance. Better looking assets need more computing power, so maybe that's one of the reasons why scenery isn't the highest quality. This game already runs poorly even on beast PCs. Imagine you would have high resolution buildings, mountains, and everything else on the ground. People would then cry that their game is crashing or they are getting 8 FPS with an RTX 3090. Guys, it's still the best experience of all flight sims out of the box. ATC is one area which could be greatly improved. It's not terrible and it's getting improved slowly, but it still lacks a lot. ATC sometimes tells you nonsense, like descend, climb, like ATC can't make up their mind, and suddenly you see the runway while you are flying A320 and you're at 10,000 feet. But when ATC works, it's pretty good for non-real flyers. It's pretty immersive and adds another layer of realism. For those who don't like default ATC, they can fly online where real people act as ATC. It's always good to have a choice. The game supports all kinds of peripherals, from simple Xbox controllers to super expensive flight equipment and external apps like 4Flight, Navigraph, SimBrief, Little Navmap, which is free by the way. I highly suggest trying Little Navmap. It's a bit complicated at first, but once you get a hang of it, it is a very handy tool. I highly suggest playing this with a yoke and throttle quadrant, or at least some cheap joystick. Whatever you can afford. Believe me, it changes the game a lot and helps you to immerse yourself. Want more airports? Then check out flightsim.to for thousands of mods. Airports, some even better than payware versions, plenty of liveries, quality of life improvements, replay mod, and there's even a helicopter mod made by amazing people of this community. And don't forget to reward creators if you really enjoy their work by donating money to them. They deserve that. Overall, this is a next generation flight simulator. It's not perfect by any means, but it's still the best one, at least for those who don't fly in real life. It lets you explore the whole world, land anywhere, learn, immerse yourself, and feel free like a bird. It will require a lot of your effort to learn stuff like navigation, GPS, FMS programming, but once you learn it, it is a real joy. So that's pretty much it. If you'd like to support the channel, leave a like and check the links in the description. Have a good day and safe flights. Cosmo out.